Now we have question number 2b. Question number 2b of Inter CA May 2023 attempt. This is the question on TDS, tax deducted at source. This question was asked for 7 marks, but surprisingly for 7 marks, Institute has asked 3 sub questions. So 3 questions for 7 marks. The marks allocation is done in a very haphazard manner. It should be something which is divisible by 3. It should be either for 7.5 mark, or it should be for 9 marks, or for 6 marks. Doesn't matter. Institute God only knows, and Institute knows what and how they are going to allocate the marks. Answer the followings. Number 1, Miss Tara, a resident individual aged 32 years, is a social media influencer. Please underline social media influencer. She makes videos reviewing various electronic items, and then she would post those videos on social media on 1st December 2022. Please underline 1st December 22. XYZ Limited, an Indian company, manufacturer of electronic cars, gave her a brand new car having a fair market value of 6 lakh rupees. Please underline fair market value of 6 lakh rupees to promote the same on her social media page. She used that car for 7 months for her personal purpose, recorded a video reviewing the car, and then she returned the car back to the company. You are required to discuss the applicable provisions in the Income Tax Act regarding the deduction of tax at source in respect of such transaction. This is a question on section 194R, which was newly introduced with effect from 1st July 2022. This is the TDS in respect of benefit or perquisite in connection with business profession valued at more than 20,000 rupees in a year. Then person providing the benefit or perquisite will have to deduct TDS at the rate of 10%. This is applicable from 1st July 2022, and here the benefit perquisite is given on 1st December 22. That is certainly on or after 1st July 2022. Therefore, TDS under 194R is applicable. According to 194R, read with CBDT circular, if the benefit perquisite is in kind, then the fair market value of that kind will be taken into account to be the value of perquisite. If the assessee providing, that is payer providing the benefit, is a manufacturer of that product, then not the manufacturing cost, but whatever price it is selling to outsider, that is market value, that amount will be liable for TDS. 6 lakhs is more than 20,000, therefore 10% TDS is applicable. However, as per CBDT circular, if the asset or whatever is product is received is returned back, then no TDS, because there is no benefit since it is returned back. So what is the provision? First of all, let's understand 194R with effect from 1st July 2022. TDS on benefit or perquisite arising from business or profession. Payer should be any person other than individual HUF unless turnover exceeded 1 crore from business or 50 lakh from profession in the immediately preceding financial year. Paying to any resident exceeding 20,000 in a year, then 10% TDS is to be deducted of the value of the benefit or perquisite. However, Proviso to 194R states that if the benefit perquisite is in kind, wholly in kind or partly in kind, then the person providing the benefit or perquisite shall, before releasing the benefit perquisite, ensure that the TDS has been paid in respect of such benefit or perquisite. However, CBDT circular number 12 of 22 dated 16 June 2022, which was issued for 194R, you don't need to remember the circular number or the date. One of the point of this circular states that if the manufacturing company, point number 4 here, manufacturing company providing its product like car, mobile, outfit, cosmetics, etc. to a social media influencer to use such product and make audio video on such product and speak about the same in the social media, will this be considered as a benefit perquisite? So CBDT said there are 2 possibilities. If such product is to be returned back to the manufacturer after using it for rendering services, then there is no benefit or perquisite, therefore no TDS. But if the product is retained by the social media influencer, then TDS will be applicable under 194R. In the given question, the product is returned back, therefore no TDS under section 194R. So this is the theory question. You will be answering based on CBDT circular. Second part, Aruna is the chief executive officer of a multinational company. She hires Mr. Suresh for supply of her housing staff. Supply of staff or supply of labor will attract TDS under section 194C. like gardener, chef, driver, etc., and makes the following payments to him: 25 lakh on 10th August 22 and 30 lakh rupees on 22nd November 22. Determine the amount of tax to be deducted or collected at source, if any. Well, this is a question on TDS under section 194C. However, TDS under 194C is applicable if the payment is made for supply of labor and the payment is 30,000 in one go, or it is exceeding 1 lakh rupees for the whole year. Single payment exceeds 30,000 paid or credited, or it exceeds 1 lakh rupees in a year per annum. There are dual limits. TDS will be deductible at the rate of 2% or at the rate of 1% depending upon who the payee is. If the payee is Suresh, the individual, then TDS would be at the rate of 1%. Payee is other than individual HUF, then 2%, otherwise 1%. However, here 194C and 194J, these are the two sections where TDS is not attracted on personal purpose payment. If the payment is for personal purpose, then TDS is not attracted for these two sections. If you observe here, though the amount is more than 1 lakh and more than 30,000, total amount is 55 lakh, then also since the supply of labor, the contract is for housing staff, for gardener, chef, etc., therefore no TDS under 194C. However, there is another section 194M which was introduced few years back, stating that if the person who is not required to deduct TDS under 194C, 194H, 194J, then for any reason, and the amount exceeds 50 lakh rupees, then TDS will be attracted at the rate of 5%. So here amount is more than 50 lakh, amount is 55 lakhs, therefore TDS will be attracted under section 194M at the rate of 5% of 55 lakh. You can calculate how much is 5% of 55 lakh. Would your answer be different? Second part, would your answer be different if Mrs. Aruna is a businesswoman and her books of accounts are not audited in the immediately preceding previous year? Now 194C is a section where books of accounts are required to be audited of individual HUF of the immediately preceding previous year. Then only tax is required to be deducted. Assuming our books of accounts are not audited in the immediately preceding financial year and the payment to Mr. Suresh is for business purpose. Even if the payment is for business purpose, our answer will not change. Answer will remain same. TDS will still be deductible under section 194M at the rate of 5% since the amount exceeds 50 lakh rupees. Assuming the amounts remain the same. Because for 194M, it does not matter whether the payment is made for personal purpose or business purpose. Let me show you 194M. 194M, which was introduced few years back only, TDS on fees for professional services or contract charges or commission by individual HUF, those individual HUF who are not required to deduct TDS under section 194C, H or J. Payment should exceed 50 lakh per annum and the rate of TDS is 5%. And one of the points states here, I have mentioned in the points to be noted, that tax will be, third point, tax will be deductible under 194M even if the payment is for personal purpose. So 194M does not distinguish between personal purpose payment and business purpose payment. The distinction is to be made between personal purpose and business purpose payment only for these two sections, 194C and 194J, and not for any other section including 194M. Therefore, TDS will be deductible under 194M in both the situation. Third situation and the last, by virtue of an agreement with a nationalized bank, Messrs. ABC Private Limited, a company engaged in catering business, received 60,000 per month, that is 7,20,000 per annum, towards supply of food, water, snacks, etc. during office hours to the employees of the bank. Discuss the TDS implication. Now, who's making payment to whom? The answer is nationalized bank is making payment to Messrs. ABC Private Limited. Messrs. ABC Private Limited. Messrs. ABC Private Limited is a payee and not the payer, and bank is the payer. How much is the payment? Payment is 60,000 per month into 12 months. Payment will be 7,20,000 for the whole year. 7,20,000 is here. The TDS will be under section 194C, and the limit for that is for supply of various products. Supply, it's a catering contract. Now catering contract is specifically covered in the definition of work given in section 194C. TDS is deductible if the single sum exceeds 30,000 or the aggregate for the whole year exceeds 1 lakh rupees, that is 100,000 per annum. Here the amount is 7,20,000, which is more than 1 lakh per annum. I repeat, 194C states that payment is for supply of labor for carrying out any work, or the payment is for carrying out any work. Payment should be for carrying out any work in pursuance of any contract, or payment should be for supply of labor to carry out the work in pursuance of any contract. I'll show you 194C in the PDF slide. Catering service is specifically covered in the definition of work, therefore TDS is deductible. TDS will be either at the rate of 1% if the payee is individual HUF, or TDS will be at the rate of 2% if payee is other than individual HUF. Since the payee is a company, TDS will be at the rate of 2%. 2% of 7,20,000, you can calculate it by yourself. Now let me show you 194C section. 194C, TDS on payment to contractor. The payer should be any person being so and so. Here the payer is nationalized bank, which is the company. Therefore, it is covered in the definition of payer. Paying to any resident person, TDS will depend upon, the rate of TDS will depend upon who the payee is. Here the 2% will be applicable, provided single sum exceeds 30,000 or aggregate for the whole year exceeds 1 lakh rupees. Here the payment is 7,20,000. Nature of payment should be payment for carrying out any work in pursuance of any contract, or payment for supply of labor. A payment for carrying out any work, the work has been defined in third point here. The term work includes is an inclusive definition. Fourth point here says catering is also work. Therefore, catering contract, this is one of the final CA question, was asked number of years back. Same question is reproduced here. Catering is one of the work. Accordingly, TDS will be deductible under section 194C at the rate of 2%. With that, this question comes to an end. See you in the next video with the next question.